I'm placing myself next to this window with the sun coming in from the west. It's warm. I need to get myself into the right place to talk about these fragrances because we're talking about the best fragrances to wear for the highest heat. When it's so hot outside, when it's scorching, and you need a little bit of a fragrance that's so uplifting, so fresh and cooling. I have a number of fragrances here that will help you do that. Some great recommendations. In my opinion, I tried to choose some stuff that I don't talk about that much, that I haven't talked about in a while, and that I don't really see talked about across YouTube in general. So I hope you find something that interests you, but let's dive right into it. Our first choice here is a cheapie. This is tequila and lime. It's aquatic. You might know what it is. This is Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Barts. Now, I don't love this fragrance. It smells cheap to me. Even on the skin, it smells like, okay, it smells like a lot of other things. It smells like you paid $20 for it. However, it is uplifting, it is refreshing, it is a fun time, and it actually performs pretty well for a very cheap fragrance. This thing will linger on my skin a good 8 hours, even though it does sit closer after just a few hours for me, but nonetheless, a great fragrance that's easy to wear for any casual outing while it's hot. This is a great, easy pick-me-up, but it does have a little bit of a fun, playful vibe. So maybe a nice little pool party, this could do great too. That is Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Barts. Next one up, this is coming from Michael Malul. I did review this, so you can check it out here. And this is kind of a basic scent. There's something about it that is very reminiscent of a lot of other things you smelled and might even own, but there is an aspect to this fragrance that makes it stand out just a little bit. It gives it a little bit of a different twist on this type of scent. This is called San Lucas. This is based on apple. I get a crisp apple in here. It's very fresh. It's very clean smelling. There's a little bit of a sweetness in here, but iris creates this tiny bit of a dusty edge to it that almost makes it a little bit earthy in a way that, again, gives it dimension. It smells more than just fruity fresh. There's a little bit more to it than that. I do appreciate them adding some depth to the scent, but otherwise, it is a very easy to wear fragrance. It will remind you of stuff like YSL Y Eau de Parfum. It's in that realm, it's in that range, but not exactly like that. Musky and fresh, a little bit sweet and fruity, but again, with a little bit of depth that you would not expect. It was a nice surprise. Check it out, get a little discount with the code STAYFRESH20, save some money on this fragrance. You can get the bottle, of course, but I always recommend sampling. They do have a discovery set, so check that out if you want to check out more fragrances from the house in addition to San Lucas, but not bad for the high heat. This is going to do well. From the house of Tom Ford, this could be discontinued. I'm not exactly sure. I think maybe you can at least get some samples out there, but this is Mandarino di Amalfi Acqua. When I first smelled this fragrance years ago, I instantly fell for it. It was so juicy and fruity, but kind of clean and floral in a white floral type of way. You have clean orangey, like white floral. You do have a lot of mandarin orange as per the name. You have even some like ambery warmth as it dries, but it is a bit aquatic, not overtly so. I don't really get sea salt or ocean water, but it just screams like out by the pool, out by the beach, under the sun. It's hot. This thing is cooling and refreshing, citrusy and bright, perfectly unisex. See if you can get a sample. I'll see what I can find and link down below for Tom Ford, Mandarino di Amalfi Acqua. All right, this next one, absolutely uplifting. This one is beautifully citrusy, but a little bit fruity, but not overly sweet. It's almost tart, black currant, some bergamot. Very, very fresh. It doesn't have a ton as it dries down. You do get a little bit of soft florals and you get some musk, but nonetheless, this top heavy scent is simply juicy, fruity, citrusy, bright, and beautiful. This is Aqua Celestia Cologne Forte from MFK. It's simple. It's a simple scent. The only thing it really reminds me of is its predecessor, the original Aqua Celestia, which is a little bit more floral than this. This is much more citrusy, fruity, juicy, bright. Wow, a little sweet, but mostly tart, but has an interesting thick roundness from the florals and musk working together. And it also helps to help it stick on the skin a little bit longer than you might think, but not a beast by any means. But beautiful wearing white outside in the heat of the day. That is Aqua Celestia Cologne Forte. Up next is a bit of a classic. It originally came out decades ago. It has since been reformulated and repackaged and remarketed many different times, and this is the most current iteration of it, reimagined by one of my favorite perfumers, Cecile Zerokian. This is called Green Water. And I did talk to her about this fragrance. She uses a lot of naturals in this scent, but this is mostly mint and neroli. You get a lot of green, very, very minty, and kind of the peppermint direction with this slightly thick white floral that's clean, a little soapy, actually quite soapy. Green Water is the perfect name for this. It's not gonna last you much more than 5 hours on the skin, but the freshness that it brings you while it's there is classic, it's classy, it's refined, but it's still easygoing and light. Green Water is a great one to consider. Do get you some samples from Jacques Fath. I believe you can get free samples on their website. You just pay for the cost of shipping. Check it out. Up next, this is a brand new fragrance from Gentleman's Nod, a brand that is not necessarily known for their fragrances. They are known for their men's shaving products, grooming products. In fact, I had products with them when I did Brass and Soul. I collaborated with George Zaharoff, and we also collaborated with Gentleman's Nod to come out with some ancillary products, which I know many of you guys got and enjoyed. We had a shave soap, we had an aftershave splash, we even had a candle, all scented with Brass and Soul. And Gentleman's Nod has just come out with a fragrance that they're very, very proud of, and I'm happy to be getting to know it here. This is called Musashi. The picture that they're trying to paint is one related to Japanese culture. This is based on tea with citruses like yuzu, lots of woods. I get vetiver in here. It's quite a complex fragrance, but it does wear pretty easy on the skin. It's mostly a citrusy and woody scent, a little bit of a bitterness to it, but a little bit of this soft herbal quality from tea. It's an eau de parfum, so it's gonna stick on the skin a good little while, which is great to have because heat will generally evaporate fragrances very quickly. This one is gonna sustain a little bit longer than your average super fresh citrusy scent. There's more going on here. I still can't place my finger on it. It reminds me of something. I can't place it. Some kind of niche fragrance that I've tried before. I cannot place it. I've been trying, but there's a woodiness in here that's familiar, but nonetheless, really nice. The only thing I'm not crazy about with this fragrance is the atomizer. It's kind of like a squirt gun, to be honest. I'm surprised I actually hit the paper there because it's a very, very concentrated stream. So that's kind of nitpicking, to be honest. It shouldn't be hard to get it on your skin. We're a big target, so it won't be a challenge. But that is just one thing I was surprised about when I first sprayed it on. I was like, oh, it just kind of nailed me right in the neck there. Nonetheless, totally worth it. Smells really, really nice. Great quality, beautiful blend. Has some depth to it while still being easy to wear. Kind of a calming scent, something to wear for you, but I think it still gets some easy positive attention in a casual environment. That is Musashi from Gentleman's Nod. And we're gonna have some special stuff with them. You can check out the links down below. Maybe you can get a little discount. Check it out. The chewing gum fragrance. No, not really, but kind of. This is one of the most uplifting mint fragrances out there, period. Citruses and mint, maybe a little bit floral. This is from Guerlain. This is called Herba Fresca. It does smell a little bit like chewing gum. Nevertheless, it is fresh. It is cold smelling. It is so cooling on the skin and the air in your nostrils, kind of mentholic, almost like sinus clearing, which you may have heard I need right now. Had some allergies that hit me pretty bad. Wonderful quality. Again, you gotta kind of appreciate more of a chewing gum style mint, but it's not exactly that. There's more to it than that. Beautiful fragrance, also perfectly unisex. I wanna say just about all of these fragrances are perfectly unisex. The last two, some people might consider a little masculine, but if it sounds interesting, check it out. But that's Herba Fresca.
It's definitely getting warm.
This was a good and a bad idea. I'm in the mode, I'm in the zone, but I am starting to sweat, but I'm doing it for y'all. Up next, one of the most beautiful fig fragrances out there. Fig, citruses, a little bit of spice, definitely some woods, a little bit of a greenness in there, and a little watery as well, kind of like the way it looks from Aqua di Parma. This is Fico di Amalfi, juicy, fruity fig that's not overly sweet. It is balanced by some slightly tart citruses. It does have some pink pepper, making it a little bit spicy. I think there's also fig leaf in here maybe. There's something green about it. Very, very slightly herbaceous. And it is a little bit watery. It wears watery in the air, but not in a marine-like way, not like, again, fishy or ocean water. It's just, maybe it's the bottle that gets me. It doesn't smell blue, but it does smell like crisp, clean water with these elements I just described. There's something so uplifting about it. A lot of you have checked this one out and have said how much you like it. I think it's a great scent for the heat. Perfect for vacation. Fico di Amalfi from Aqua di Parma. Up next is a fragrance I was not actually impressed by when I first got it. I had high hopes for it, but the more I've worn it, the more I've smelled it on me and around me when I wear it, the more I've enjoyed it, the more I found it quite perfect for the upcoming summer or for a day like this because it's freaking hot. Yeah, it's good. It's really nice. This is H24 from Hermes. Metallic green, citrusy and fresh. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like cold metal, and that's the freshness here, but it is a little bit earthy in a way. I think there's narcissus in here, which makes it a little bit green and earthy. Yeah, it doesn't smell super natural, and it also doesn't really change all that much. It's kind of a linear scent on my skin, but doesn't smell exactly like everything else out there. It has grown on me. I was disappointed for a while. I don't mind it now. For now, H24, I'm liking more and more. I'm glad I'm spending more time with it. And the last one up from one of my favorite niche houses from M. Micallef. This is aromatic, this is aquatic, and it's citrusy, but it's aromatic in a kind of a strange way. It has the note of myrtle, which can be a little bit camphorous. It does have a bit of a minerally quality to it. But overall, it is oceanic, it is beautifully citrusy, but it does have a little bit of a masculine edge to it. There's something kind of clean and refined about it. I would wear it with a shirt like this. This is called Osaito. Again, coming from Micallef. And this is pleasant stuff. It doesn't wear super heavy. This is not a very strong fragrance, at least in my wearing experience, but in the heat, it will be intensified. You're probably gonna get a good 5-6 hours out of this. You may wanna refresh it, but you might not care, because I know a lot of us don't really care all that much. If you love the way it smells, who cares how long it lasts? This is a very easy to wear fragrance. I think you could dress it up or down. It is a little bit different. It doesn't remind me exactly of anything else, but it is very accessible. It is not overly aquatic. It does not smell like fish in the ocean, but it is enough to have some interest to it, so it's not just boring citruses. There's a good amount going on here. It's cooling, it is refreshing, very versatile as well. That is Micallef Osaito. Do get you some samples. This is not my favorite fragrance from the house. My favorite is this here Toxic, but that's not one I would wear for the high heat. Nonetheless, do get their discovery set. Check this out, check out this here Toxic, check out all their stuff. Really beautiful fragrances. That's Micallef. Okay, I wanna know, have you tried any of these fragrances that I've talked about in this list? Are any of your favorites or any of your go-tos for the high heat, for the summertime? We've had a late and slow warm up into summer, but it is coming with fury quite soon, so I will be busting out these bad boys in order to stay refreshed and cooled and not overbearing to me or anyone else. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.